Hey guys, Bart coming to you from TST Industries in Florida, bringing you another episode of TST Garage. In this video, we will be replacing the OEM axle blocks on this BMW S1000RR with the Womet-Tech axle block protectors. Now, these parts are CNC machined out of billet aluminum 6061 and anodized for a nice durable finish. And what they achieve here is they add a little bit extra protection to the swing arm area of your bike by including this Delrin element that makes contact with the ground in the event of a crash before all the other important peripherals do. So this is a pretty simple installation, but it does require the removal of your axle. I have a really cool tip for how to keep your wheel in place. So the first step will be to pre-assemble these sets with the sliders. I've already done that on this one, so it's just a matter of threading this in. And now that we have them basically pre-assembled, we can throw them on the bike and we will torque them down while they're on the bike already. All right, so let's start. So the removal of the axle will require a 34mm socket. And here I'm working it with a breaker bar. I'm gonna put the axle nut and the washer right next to each other, next to the side, and get them poised for the reassembly. Now, Pitbull makes a really nice ramp, instant pit crew type setup that holds your wheel up. I have an alternate method for those guys that don't own that. Just have two pieces of wood that go under the tire and use the friction of the tire to hold the tire and the wheel in place so that when we drop the axle, it doesn't get out of position, and it makes this whole procedure really simple. All right, so let's knock the axle through, get the left side block out, and put it to the side. And if you do this really carefully, the wheel will remain in place. Just like that. Now, we'll have to remove the OEM block off the axle, and if you notice here, the axle is keyed. So we will need to grab the axle block protector that is also keyed. I'll show you guys here. One side is keyed and it accepts the axle, and the other side just has a circular counter bore for the washer. So now that you've identified the sides, we'll pre-assemble these components. And before I go that far, I want to mention something else. These components are actually manufactured to have the same distance from here to here as the OEM counterparts. They're very, very close, within thousandths of an inch. So you will likely not need to redo your chain tensioning. But if you do, I recommend going with the procedure outlined in your owner's manual for the bike. All right, so once you get this far, I recommend manipulating the wheel just a little bit to enable all the parts to fit together. And once you have the axle in the recess, you can be good to go. Now, I didn't align the axle really well, so I'm going to grab a tool that will let me rotate it a little bit into place. And there it is. That's simple. Hop around to the other side and complete this installation. Basically do the same thing on this side, except you don't have to worry about keying anything. As you can see, the sliders go towards the rear of the bike. Once you have this all pressed together, you can get the washer on, make sure that it fits in the counter bore, and start threading on the nut. Now this will get tight, But I like to continue doing this by hand until I can't turn it by hand anymore. And that's when I will employ a torque wrench set to 74 foot-pounds. All right, there we go. So now I will grab my other torque wrench that can achieve smaller torques and grab a 6mm Allen, set it to 12 foot-pounds, and tighten up my sliders. All right, now the wood comes out and the bike's ready to go. Before we finalize this video, I want to mention another cool feature of these sliders. They come with these pearly white stickers inside the slider portion for a nice accent to the whole system. They also come with these red stickers in case your bike has any sort of red accents in the paintwork. These will complement that pretty nicely. This bike actually does have some red striping and some anodized red parts on it. We could go either way. I just chose to go with the white because most of the bike is white and it looks good. So there you have it. It's that simple. It'll take you about 10 minutes and it'll really add a nice element of protection to the rear control swing arm part of the bike, and it also looks pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out our other videos. And if you're looking at this on YouTube, I hope you hit like and subscribe and leave us a comment. We always like hearing from you guys. See you next time.